Hey, long time no see. I wanted to make a quick video on one of my recent Grand Arenas. Starting with this Lord Vader battle. As you can see, Lord Vader, Royal Guard, and Thrawn. The data cron on this Lord Vader is, as you might also see, is the protection up one, which is quite common if you see them on defense, especially in freeze. It's kind of dangerous because there's not really much you can do off meta, but I still tried. And this is like a calculated two-shot for Lord Vader. So the first thing you do is you take what's-her-face, Fennec, then Grief, and OG Mando. Take out the sides. This is basically what you aim for with this counter. Of course, if there wasn't a protection up, you could also go for one shot. And you get close. Potentially, there is even, if the Lord Vader is maybe low relics, this one is relic 9, so maybe relic 7 or something. And you have high oomph on your side, you potentially get even through this, and you have to line up some shots. But as you can see here, that wasn't really the case for me, so I lost this one, but took out the sides, which was the goal for this round. And then you just take in Bosk, Boba, and Bam. So Bam is here just to keep Boba alive, potentially help the team to stay alive. Bosk is here, of course, to taunt, easy contract. And Boba is, of course, here to execute Lord Vader at some point. So mainly, as you can see, what I try is to keep Boba alive as long as possible, because you want to get at least, I guess 50, 60, whatever stacks. Here it's over 60, I guess even more than that, of protection up. As you can see, it wasn't enough here in that instance. It was over 60. So depending on your offense on Boba, you need more than that. And in freeze, it's usually hard to get this, so that's why this is not like a one-shot option you have. So you need to take away the sides from Lord Vader, but then it's doable. And as for Datacrons, there is this one of the current set which allows you to get more offense when you get more than 2 buffs that it can be dispelled, which is the one I would go for. It helps Boba to gain a little bit more offense, even though you have really a lot of buffs on yourself. But by the time you get there, and then you can take out Lord Vader. Here, this is my go-to counter to Rey and Freeze, or ever has been ever since Starkiller was out, which is EP Mara, SK, of course. I have the Mara Cron with a bunch of stats. A little bit of crit damage, but it doesn't really help if there's like a lot of crit avoid on Rey, which was the case here. And here I lost EP, which is nice, because once you lost him, you don't have to worry about the revive of anyone. And as you can see here, before Rey got an ult, she was debuffed. And so this means that she does less damage with the ult. Otherwise, they both would have been gone, but it wasn't the case. And so I could use my ult, quote unquote, from Starkiller and take out the team and then take out Rey. This already is back wall fight because I forgot to record the rest of the front walls, which was a mall team against which I lose JMK. Not JMK, I don't have any Jedi for offense. What is it? Qui-Gon Jinn. I always mix these up. And then there was a bunch of other teams simple enough to take out with, no GLs, because this season, or the whole season, like this is the second round, I didn't place any GLs on offense. I placed them all on defense, because why not? This is like the Zori team, which is super scary, but it's not as scary when you have Tusken, especially like this Tusken team with the Omicron and with the Datacron. Then it's pretty easy to take out Zori pretty handily. Then there was this Tusken team. But the first time I faced it, like when it was surfacing, like when was it, like 2 months ago or so? I don't know. I was using Iden here, so I tried Iden again, and Boba is already gone, so not much of an issue. But of course I lost Deathmark, which was unfortunate because he immensely helps with Deathmark. But my Iden has enough power to get through, and so once Warrior is out, this team is basically done. So there is not much you have to worry about, and can just take out Chieftain. Of course, it takes a while, but once Warrior is out, there's nothing to worry about. Another backwall team. This is a well-known or well-established counter to GI by now, I would say. Yeah, just partner with Gideon and another Galactic Republic support. In this case, I used RT2. I don't know. I just didn't have any use for them otherwise, so I was using it there. My opponent didn't have Reva. I also don't have Reva. I faced Reva the round before and took it out with Treya, Savage, and Nihilus. So it can work. I got full banners. I think I shared a video on this as well. And depending on the Reva comp, you can take it out quite easily still without a GL. Maybe because it's just like, let's say, B teams we're looking at here. I felt a little bit frustrated with Gandarina, which was one of the reasons, or with the game in general, which was one of the reasons why I didn't really share any videos recently. And actually this week or like this season I want to take off, but out of habit I registered, and so I was like, I don't really want to play because I didn't really feel like it's a lot of fun anymore. Especially in Freeze, it's such a competitive edge in terms of like banner pinching and everything. And so I was like, yeah, fuck, not, F it. I just placed a super hard defense, and when my opponent full clears me or clears me, then so be it, and then I just take my 0 banner auto loss and get my 200 something whatever like crystals. But at the same time, I saw some interesting teams, so I felt, why not try? Just see what can you do off meta wise. And then I got a full clear the first round this season, funny enough, and my opponent could only clear like one zone, and so I thought, maybe just let's stick to this. Just see or see where the fun in this game is left for myself. And so the fun seems to be just like to play for giggles, which means trying to take out things off meta as much as possible, and then not being sad about when you lose, and so this was mainly about just like for fun and giggles. And yeah, and while I'm talking about this, why I'm even making this video, also fun and giggles, taking out the Sorry team, which was one of the not so annoying comps. There are more annoying comps, I would say. But yeah, and I also made some mistakes in the beginning in this round, but yeah, was still okay. Then this is the top wall already. There was this Starkiller team, and I haven't fought in a while with Wampa, and I remodded my Wampa because in recent seasons I didn't get any use out of him, and so he doesn't have the best mods anymore. He's just like hanging in there, and yeah, essentially he is here carried by the Datacron with the protection up when you land dots. Got so much that I even could tank the alt, or yeah, alt is a weird, but it is an alt from SK. But as you can see, not enough firepower left to take out the rest of the team. But without any lead, without those conditions met, Starkler is no match. Then there was the Smelgus team. I would have used our friend Hondo here, but this is actually the anti-Hondo comp, so I didn't want to risk it. And so I went with JKL. Didn't have Mace available, but I think GK could also do a great job, and this thing is mostly carried by Hoda and JKL anyway. I think I had some crit damage on the Datacron here, which helped, of course. But yeah, my JKL he's one of the characters on my roster that I'm quite proud of how he's modded, like stat wise, and so get good use out of him. And yeah, so you don't need granted this wasn't a Relic 9 opponent, but you don't need like GLs to take this team out. Then this was something I wanted to try. I have both Omicrons now on Marin and on, what's her name, Ventress. And so I thought maybe they can do something against Jabba, because in 5s it's possible. And I wasn't sure. And if I just take out the sides, I would be pretty happy with this result, because it's quite easy then to take out the rest of Jabba from the team. And yeah, surprisingly enough, as you can see, it really works well, because like the healing block, the constant plague you're landing, it really helps immensely. At least it helps to take out the sides, but at this point I was quite happy with the result, and I was also quite sure that I'm not well versed enough in the nitty-gritty of the kits that I would be able to line up anything to make it work to take out this as a one shot. And so I felt like, yeah, just wait until Jabba kills me or until I time out. And so still pretty happy with the result here. So there's a lone Jabba which is sluggish enough to fail, which we can see later, but still quite nice. Then there was this team which I had a rough idea how I want to beat it, but at the same time I had still like teams available, like leftover Darth Revan and stuff. So maybe this can do something. But of course, this was a stupid idea. This team is too strong, and so I forfeited. Then I took in one of my favorite counters still, even though there is no Datacron available for Hondo anymore. But first round this season, I took out a Mergus team with this comp. At some point, Hondo was hitting for like 500k or so, and so I was interested to see if this works. Even though I know this is anti-Hondo as well, because there's Malak, it can get quite dicey, quite risky. But if I can, keep my tunes, the supporting cast as long around as possible, it would be still possible just to, allow Hondo to stack up his stacks of whatever they are called. Then they both can die, as L3 did here. Thanks for listening to me. And Hondo can basically solo the rest, even like one shot just Malak with one hit and just then see what happens. And also this Savage, but at some point would just like be one shot, and unfortunately, it's still risky, and you want to keep especially Malak in check so he doesn't drain you. If you don't do that, there's a chance you can get drained, and then maybe Savage can, do his big hit on you, and it's gone. Then the other risky thing is you also want to take out Talon, and it was risky, as I said, because I didn't get to kill either of these, trigger the sacrifice, so I could take out Savage, and then Malak, and then they landed up perfectly, so got drained and then got taken out by Savage. But still, it's a great counter like Hondo. He still does wonders, even in freeze. And so I took in gas to clean this up. Clean up sounds a little bit nosy to say it like that. But I was quite confident that this would be just a cleanup for me, even though it's a full-fledged battle, because there is still a full team around, basically relying here on our friend Rex to take out Savage, and then just also waiting for the time around to kill the rest of those. Here, even though it was, you usually don't do that, lose the air advantage or whatever it's called, the Rexalate or execute. It just was enough damage to take up Malak, and then this fight was over. Then there was this annoying comp, I think in a recent video that Arnold was posting or so, he threw his whole roster at it. And it's annoying. I had a similar comp on defense. But it's no match for Treya in that regard, because Treya's kit is just designed to take out such teams. Because there is no real immediate threat, or is it the right word? I don't know. But so there's enough time to allow Treya to use the tools of her team just to take it out easily. That's what I did here. So no problem. Full banners, easy win. And then we're getting to the experimental part, like trying to take out this one. And I'm using this comp here, and I sped it up because it's a timeout. But I recently, one of my past Grand Arenas, there was a CLS team, and I used Jabba on auto and just went away, and then I came back and I saw that I lost against the CLS team. I was like, oh, maybe this works. And I guess it only works if there's one other toon left, then you can take out Jabba. If he's alone, it's just no way that this works. So then I used my go-to cleanup for Jabba, which is essentially just, as you can see, more Canderous and Armorer. Armor, just to get more health on Maul, so he with the 3 stacks or 2 stacks, so he just, you know, hits harder. And also for armor shred, then you have also buff immunity on the team, and a lot of like damage output in general. So even though this is a Relic 9 well modded slug, it doesn't really stand a chance. You only have to wait for protection up to fall off before then you can go against the slug before you go with the 5 stacks and lose it all out. What I want to say, English is my second language, or maybe third language, I don't know. You know what I want to say. Just wait before it falls off and then just take out Jabba, and yeah, easy enough. Of course, could have been more banners if I wouldn't have made the experiment with CLS, but that was okay. And then, yeah, just cleaning up this 2 here, which is easy enough, and even doesn't even need a good datacron, of course. Then defense of fleet-wise, I bolstered my defense. We're putting like the meta fleets on defense mostly, and just like try to see what happens. Yeah, and so against this executor here, I used Thrawn and TIE Defender. So it's even though it felt risky, because the fleet was quite, how to put it, high relic, I guess. So could have gone wrong here, but yeah. Called in TIE Bomber just to get another tank in, and got my one-shot. Took out Razor Crest because I felt it was more dangerous than the rest of the ships. And so, yeah, took out the Razor Crest, got a second reinforcement, took out Xanadu, and then it just, not smooth sailing, but like not as rough sailing anymore, and then you just wait for your ultimate to come around again, and then take out the ships, or just for your TIE Defender to, you know, hit the people, because it hits quite hard, I have to say. Took out that one, that Houndstooth now, and then, yeah, just took out Slave 1. Bad banners, of course, but it was still a one-shot, which was good. Then you used my negotiator against Malevolence here. Yeah, I think that's a battle that everyone is used to, like, seen it so many times on different channels and from different people. But it's always, you know, you can always think about ways to optimize this. Like in recent matches, I sometimes got like 73 banners or so, depending on how I started a battle and how it went down. And here it didn't really like go super smooth, but it was okay. Of course it helps if the Force Taunt doesn't land on Anakin. But yeah, it was good enough. And then last match, or last part of this battle, was Finalizer against Redus, ship Redus. Is it called Redus? Yeah. It's so weird when you have like a Redus character and his ship is called different, and then you have you know what I mean. Yeah, and it's a fun battle. It's like the movies, not really, but it's, yeah, it doesn't really feel very, how to say it, smooth, because you have a lot of hits that you have to take. You lose a lot of like protection and health left and right, but at the same time you have this like little one-hit wonder here, which is called TIE Silencer, which hits super hard, as you can see, and so it's good enough for 72 banners. And yeah, and that was the end of the match, and these were the banners.